This is the Kelly Writer's house right here. We're here and we want to show you a little bit of it. So follow me. Let's give it a look. We have a beautiful garden here. We love our garden. And the pathway in the garden, here it is. I don't know if you can see that, but The Quality of Heaven by William Carlos Williams. This is a poem that's etched in the garden as we go all the way through from the front to the back of the garden. You get to follow a William Carlos Williams poem about gardens. Then we have a front porch where a lot of people hang out fairly often. And let's go inside, see what's going on. So here is our foyer, and you'll notice immediately that there's a guy named Paul Kelly who helped us renovate this old house. And he made the renovation of the house possible. The house was built in 1851, making it one of the oldest houses at the university. I'm not sure how it survived. The architect was Samuel Sloan, who created these Tudor-style cottages in the 1850s as a way of encouraging people to move out of Center City and out here to the West Bank, to West Philadelphia. And when we dedicated this, we decided to use our favorite passage from Dickinson, of Visitors the Fairest, for occupation this. And this, of course, refers to the occupation of the house. We just really like it, like the scene here. So let's go inside and have a look at the Arts Cafe. And this is the Arts Cafe, and look, here's Max in the Arts Cafe. Now, ModPo people are going to be familiar with the Arts Cafe, and we have these bay windows. This was originally the parlor, and you can see we have all of our technical equipment here, which we use for webcasting. And I don't know why Max is here, but how are you doing, Max?
I'm doing good. How are you, Al?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So, what have you been thinking about? What poem are you reading?
I was just brushing up on some Stein.
Brushing up on Stein.
Brushing up on Stein. If anyone can brush up on Stein.
Yeah, that's right. It's impossible. So, tell us something about the Writer's House. What happens here? What do you love about it?
I love that pretty much every day of the week there's something going on in this room. And I love the windows in this room, as Al mentioned, especially this Taj Mahal window that I don't think you mentioned, Al. It's a great sound, great acoustics, cozy. There's a little mantle here, very homey. We have some art on the walls. And
tell me quickly what poem you've been thinking about. Which of the ModPo poems is in your head besides Stein, maybe?
Looking ahead?
Yeah, or back.
Or back?
Yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward to when we get to Christian books,
Eunoia.
Even though we're going to read only one small part of it.
Yeah.
We'll like one.
What's the salient feature of Eunoia?
The salient feature is that he writes chapters where he uses words using only one vowel. So there's an E chapter, an A chapter, an I chapter, an O chapter, a U chapter, and we'll be reading selections from the E chapter.
So it's really a feat.
It's an incredible feat.
Yeah, great. All right, well, enjoy the Arts Cafe, Max.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah, and look at this. This is our living room. And look, we have all these friends here in the living room, maybe 5 of them. We love our living room. What's great about the living room? Maurice, hello.
Hello.
How are you? May I pull up a chair here?
Please do.
All right, tell me about the living room. What's so great about this room?
Well, it's a really welcoming space. There are photo albums around, so we're continually
photo albums,
recollecting wonderful moments in the Writer's house.
Yeah. All right. Good.
And it's really
And there's Anna. Hello, Anna.
Hello.
How are you? So what poem have you been thinking about lately?
Stein. I've been thinking a lot about Stein.
Really? Stein's gotten under your skin, hasn't she?
Yeah, super under my skin.
Yeah, so which poem is the one that just sticks with you when you're thinking about other things?
Let Us Describe, probably. Just that one kind of constantly comes back, because just like the problems of like narrative and description and word choice.
And death.
That too.
Yeah. And this is Dave. Hello, Dave.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great.
Good. What's the thing? What about the Writer's House got you interested?
The way I describe it to people is that the Writer's House is the center of the universe for creative writing at Penn. It's at Penn, it's at West Philly, and it's at Philadelphia in general. If you have anything to do with creative writing, poetry, writing, this is where it all seems to start.
And you're someone who's sort of changed careers, and now you're really into this kind of writing. How would you sum up what that's meant? You don't have to get specific about your change in career, but
It's just been great to have a place that's just so welcoming to anybody. There's no no requirements. You don't have to be a grad student or an undergrad or involved in the school. You can be anybody in the community, and it's just been a great welcoming place.
It's good to see you, Dave. So, and look, we have 2 more ModPo people just camped out. This is the Carlin alcove, where a lot of people just sort of, they just stay here. So, and here's Kristen. Hi, Kristen.
Hi.
Hey, so you've
Stuck
had
in
a
this
lot to
little
do.
chair.
You've had a lot to do with the writer's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the sort of summary version of your experience?
Of my experience here.
Yeah.
I think of the writer's house as a place that is both nourishing and challenging, and nourishing in the literal sense, in that there's always a lot of food here, and I'm very involved in like making the food here.
We make it and we eat it.
We make it and we eat it.
In
I'm
fact, there's a
involved
lot
in
of
both
people who
those.
never need to cook dinner at home because they're...
Yeah, there's a lot of like free meals that I
Are you saying that if a ModPo person just shows up between September and mid-May, usually on a weekday night, they're likely to be able to eat?
Yes.
Yes.
And drink.
And drink.
Yeah.
So after people see this, they're all going to show up.
Yeah, which you all should. And so
Do
I
we
think
charge
it was a
money
nourishing
for our
place.
programs?
No, everything is free and open to the public, and you don't need a pen card to get in.
Why is it free?
Because we're a nonprofit, and we're trying to welcome the community at large into this space, not just Penn students.
Anyway, I interrupted you. You were saying it nourishes you.
Me, and it's also challenging, because I think that even though the people here I find very comforting, they'll also, if you have something that you want to do or you're not sure about it, they'll kind of push you to the next level.
Great. Good to see you, Kristen. Here's Jason working on his computer. What are you working on?
I'm actually just making bids on malachite on eBay. I'm looking for a malachite spoon.
In fact, can you get malachite on eBay?
You certainly can.
Oh, look at that malachite.
Yeah.
That's really cool. There's malachite on eBay. So, are you into tender buttons?
I am quite into tender buttons, alas.
It's
And
like
it's
a
something
black
to be,
hole, isn't it?
Well, it's kind of like this green couch, because I can come in here, sit on the green couch for a few minutes, and then days have passed, and I haven't realized that I haven't left this
And when you
couch.
get up,
Yeah.
the change that was in your pocket is in the couch. This is how we run
Right.
the writer's house, based on the
Yeah,
change
exactly.
that people leave.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, tender buttons is something I can pick up a little bit, and then I can get lost in. And I've really been thinking intensely the last couple days about the rose is obsolete
Yes, you have.
and tender buttons, and thinking about how one kind of how they play nicely together.
Yeah. So last question before we move on. You're a scholar and a poet, both. How do
Yes.
you live both lives?
With great pain and difficulty, but being a grad student and being a scholar and being at Penn with the Writers' House as a writing resource, where I've seen, since I've been here, some of the most incredible poetry events, readings. I remember an Alice Notley reading where I was in tears. Having this here is always a refuge if the demands of scholarship begin to push one into wearisome seriousness.
Well put. Thanks,
Okay.
Jason. All right, we're going to move on to the dining room. I have no idea what we're going to find here in the dining room. And, oh, there's nobody here, but we'll pass through. They're setting up for a program, obviously, for tonight. And this is typical of what's going to happen. But now we're going to go into the kitchen and just see what's going on here. As you can see, in the kitchen, there's just, I don't know, so tons of activity. They're actually, let's take a look at what they're making. What's the program tonight? Does anybody know?
Sally Biddle Smith, she's a biographer.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's a
she's a
published journalism
biographer.
program.
Yeah, that's cool. Can I have a carrot? Do you mind?
Oh no, don't mind it.
Oh, you're not going to handle it for me. That's so genteel. Thank you very much. This is our kitchen. And obviously, we're going to go upstairs, the back stairs. Let's go on up the back stairs. In 1851, they made these stairs. These stairs are really thin. And you got to, even I am not very tall. I have to duck my head. Let's see if anybody's back here. in the library. Yeah. Oh, here, this is the library. We love our library. Look who's here. Emily and Allie. Hello, you two. What are you working on? What's going on? What have you been talking about?
Just chatting.
Yeah.
Talking about silly, nonsensical things. Harmonizing.
You two talk about nonsensical things? I don't believe it.
All the time.
So tell me, say something about the writer's house. What's been exciting here for you, or what's happened to you here, Emily, in the 4 years or so?
The writer's house?
Yeah, the writer's house.
Well, despite it being a thriving intellectual community,
Besides that.
no, it's also where I made all of my very good friends. Actually,
Did you meet Allie here?
Very likely. Did I meet you here?
Well, I would say it's more accurate to say that I met Emily here, because
Oh.
Emily was here more
yeah.
than I was
Yeah.
initially.
Get all my meals
So she brought me in, kind of.
And what poetry is stuck in your head? What ModPo poetry is stuck in your head right now, Allie?
ModPo poetry stuck in
Yeah.
my head. I don't know.
I
I'd
repeated
say
the question.
some Williams.
You like
perhaps.
Williams.
Yeah, and Ashbury's always a little stuck in my head.
Yeah, Some Trees. That's
Some
quite a
trees
poem.
are my favorites.
Yeah. What about you, Emily? What's stuck in your head?
Oh, the Robert Creeley. I know a man.
I know a
Still
man.
Very powerful
Haunting.
and
What's
weird.
what's weird and powerful about it?
That it says makes such an accurate picture of a man at a point in his life in so few words.
Yeah, driving into
Yeah.
the darkness.
Such an intense exchange and an intense little poem.
That's great. Well,
Also, his voice recording is
Yeah.
just that adds an entire
oh,
another
he's got a great
element
voice.
to it.
I mean, you
Except to my
picked
friend
you
John.
picked Allie, two poets of great, distinct. If I hear Williams, I know a mile away it's Williams. That's quite a voice. And Creeley too, great readers. Yeah, Bill can be off-putting because he's so aggressive, but he's also there's something sweet and vulnerable about him. I can't quite figure it out. Anyway, nice to see you both. Yeah. So let's go on and see. There's a back room here we use as a classroom. And hello. So no, you're fine. We use as a classroom. It's got to be the comfiest classroom at the University of Pennsylvania with its leather chairs. And let's go to the front of the house, at the second floor of the house. It probably looks bigger than it is. It's 14 rooms rather. And we have a letterpress, which we used to call the 15th room press, because we have 14 rooms here, and we felt like we needed a 15th,
Yes.
and it's somewhere else. In fact, here's an example of some of the stuff that we've printed on our letterpress. It's great stuff. We love our letterpress.
That's faster than my remembering, so.
And this room here we call the pub room, short publications room. And here's Steve McLaughlin reading something. What are you reading?
Oh, it's a great book.
A book about digital audio. One of the reasons you're interested in participating in ModPo is because of your interest in digital audio. Why would you, how do those interests align?
Sure. Well, I'm not sure if it comes into ModPo so much, but it's certainly related to all the work I've done here at the Kelly Writers House. One thing I love about this place is the DIY ethos that I'm constantly thinking on my feet, being forced to use technology creatively, doing a lot with a little, and audio is, what I've spent the last, 10 years doing with my life.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of good experience here.
Name some ModPo poets whom you've met in this house.
ModPo poet people in
people who are in the course.
Well,
who
Kenny
you've met
Goldsmith
in person.
Kenny Goldsmith, whom we'll talk about a little bit later, was a big influence on me. I took several courses with him as an undergrad. Huge influence. I don't know, who else?
Well, Charles Bernstein, you must have met him sometimes.
Of course, yeah. I've known Charles for a good long time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And Ron Silliman, you've
That's
seen
true.
him read here?
Yes, I've been in touch with Ron Silliman, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what poem is sticking with you at this moment from the course? A poem that anywhere in the course that you've been thinking a lot about?
Well, I'm a big fan of Between Walls by William Carlos Williams. It is a chestnut, and it's in a way an obvious one. But I really do love your juxtaposition with that earlier green-gray
Yeah,
Yeah.
lines. Yeah,
Lines, right, lines, indeed.
yeah.
Yeah, so those two stick out in my mind.
Great, Steve. We'll go back to the art of digital. Is there an art to digital audio? I guess so.
Oh, absolutely. It's all
Yeah.
subjective, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Great. So we're going to take a quick look at our classroom, room 202. And you can see there are some folks in there. Hi, don't let us interrupt you. Meeting. And now I'm going to show you my office. And I'm way up on the 3rd floor here, in my garret. And I want to show it to you because I really like it. So come on up. It's kind of scary up here. And there's never anybody up in my office because it's so far out of the way. But oh my goodness, there's a lot of people here in my office.
Oh, didn't hear you.
Hey everybody. Well, I guess it's time to wave and say goodbye. Our tour is done. We've landed in the best spot in my office. So, any final words from the ModPo people? Max, I always call on you.
Rock on.
Rock on. All right. Thanks. I hope you've enjoyed the tour, and I hope I seriously ask you to come when you're in Philadelphia or nearby. Stop in at the Writer's House. You don't need to announce yourself. Just walk in the front door. Typically, anytime between September and mid-May, on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. We're open on weekends, but there's not a lot of action going on. So come on a weekday and just come and enjoy yourself.